Hi everyone, my name is Jen Telmer and I am going to present to you my theory for my 10-year-old son titled Go Outside.
Noah, can we go outside?
No. No. No.
Can you stop playing?
No.
Can we do anything other than play video games?
No.
You want to do homework?
No.
Please?
No.
When my son, who is 10, got off the bus on the last day of school, he said, "Well, I'm going into the basement. See you in August," because that is where I keep his video games. Now he knows that he has a pretty strict limit during the school year, but on the summer and on break times, I'm fairly more lenient, and especially with being in grad school, I've become maybe too lenient. So the only time that I can get him to really go outside is when his best friend is outside riding his bike. His best friend is originally from Kenya, and so he has been gone for the last 3 weeks. Henceforth, I have not seen Noah unless he's coming up to go to the bathroom or for a meal. And so I have been trying to figure out a good way to get him to go outside without his friend having to be outside too. So, in thinking about this and trying to get him to go outside, I came up with a couple different things that I could think about. He didn't want to go swimming. He didn't want to run through the sprinkler. He's to the age where he thinks that, quote, baby things like the sprinkler are not cool anymore. So I thought about trying to incorporate a video game with going outside, and this is what I came up with. This brings me to my hypothesis. If I incorporate video games into an activity that gives him up and moving and out of my house and out of the basement, is he more likely to physically go outside or, even better, want to go outside? So last year I had to get a new phone and I gave him my old phone and he was able to use it for Google and things that he needed for homework or stuff like that. But he really has not used it for anything at all over the summer since he's been downstairs on the computer. So I got that old phone out and I started looking through the Google Play Store and I was trying to see if there was some type of an app that was age appropriate, um, that would get him to be physically active or have him have to walk around. I know that there have been some games that have been made that are geared towards older populations, teenagers and older. And so I was trying to find if there was a game that was more age appropriate. So I was able to find this dinosaur game. It's a screenshot of it is actually on the slide here. So the whole point of this game is that you catch dinosaurs. Some of them are, quote, common dinosaurs, some of them are more rare dinosaurs. And then once you have the dinosaurs, then you're able to battle with other players on this online gaming. I'm not a video game connoisseur, but that's how my husband explained it to me. He's a huge Jurassic Park and Jurassic World fan, so I thought, well, let's give it a try. So the only way to catch the dinosaurs it's to walk around. So you can't just sit on the couch and dinosaurs come to you. You have to go to them. So once I downloaded it, I looked through it, I showed it to him, and he seemed intrigued. So that brings me to my evaluation. Once we got the game downloaded, we were able to show it to him, and he kind of got a feel for it, and all on his own, he said, well, I have to go outside and walk around so that I can try and get some dinosaurs because I don't have any. So I'm going to go outside. And I said, well, okay, I guess I'll come with you because I would like to also go outside and get some exercise. And we were able to walk around for 45 minutes. And I know that that doesn't sound like a whole lot of time, but one, if you knew Noah, that is a very long time. And two, it's July and I live in Missouri and it is hot. It was so hot last week. So we were able to walk around, catch some dinosaurs. He was able to explain things to me. And really, overall, just besides getting outside, we were able to spend some time together, which is always important. So some of the limitations that I didn't really think about at the time were the phone that he had the game downloaded initially on was only on Wi-Fi, and so obviously once we walked out of the house, the Wi-Fi cut out. So we were able to download it on my husband's phone, and so he was able to use the game on his phone and walk around. And so we're trying to figure out a way to put data onto his phone to try and use things like this just so that he can walk around and do something like this. But that's kind of a limitation itself because that's opening its own can of worms. Do I really want to put data on a phone that he can use the phone outside of the house? I'm still not really sure about. So that's pending decision of the parents. So other limitations are weather. If it's obviously storming or icing or freezing outside, he's not going to want to walk around and play this game. And the final limitation is the patented preteen answer of just things getting boring. So how long will this last for? I'm not really sure. He's still into it. So fingers crossed. And the obvious benefits would be exercise, but really it's also spending quality time together. I don't really like him walking around by himself outside. I mean, outside of the backyard, but walking around the neighborhood by himself, I still don't feel like he's old enough. So I'll walk around with him, or my husband will walk around too. And so spending quality time and that face-to-face social interaction that he doesn't get when he is holed up in the basement playing video games. And whether he says he gets social interaction or not because he's talking to his friends on the microphone, it's still not the same. It's not reading people's faces or social cues or anything like that. So it's just got a lot of benefits, and I feel like the benefits really outweigh the limitations. Some future research could be different games for a younger audience. As I was trying to find some games, I didn't find any really that were of his age range. I didn't want anything that was going to be too violent or things that he really just didn't get into or understand because it was just for an older population. And then some other research points that would be interesting is if some of these games were able to be created but to only be able to play for a certain period of time, that means that maybe the parent doesn't have to be the bad guy when they say, hey, you've played for too long. If the game can only be played for a certain period of time, that might be beneficial because then it's the game that's saying, hey, you've played XYZ amount. Now it's time to take a break. That is just one item. And then another point would be, does the game change as certain levels are reached or certain dinosaurs are caught or certain battles are won to help keep an interest? Because I know the preteen population things, if they're not evolving, it gets boring and then all of a sudden the interest is gone.
All right, what do you think about the game?
Good.
Do you like it?
Yes.
Do you think you'll get some exercise by using this?
Yes.
And get out of my basement and start walking around outside and actually seeing other people? Good. You think you'll keep it up? All right, say thanks for the fun theory.
Thanks for the fun, Yuri.